Howdy, welcome back. I can't do, what am I doing? You know, sometimes I just do stuff. I'm sorry. But howdy, welcome back to more JTReacts. And today we're checking out how the Germans live. Just simply, how do y'all be living? These are some of my favorite videos to do on different countries because it's just so crazy to me. Just how different normal everyday life can be just living in a different country. Like, we're all humans, you know, so you feel like some things would be like kind of similar, but a lot of it's not. This is the first German only reaction we've done on this channel, so if y'all are German, let me know. I'm like a little bit German. My mom's family like originated from Germany, but then we got mixed up with some Irish and then some stuff like that, so I'm a little bit of German. So, and if y'all want to see more of these reactions, let me know by hitting that like button. But other than that, let's get on up into it.
Did you know that in German addresses, the street name comes first and then the number, and the postcode or zip code comes before the city?
Wait, what? Hang on.
The street name comes first and...
So the street name's first and then the number. Okay, and then the zip code, and then where it's at. That's not, oh, dude, that's actually not that different from what we use here. Literally, everything's just kind of flip-flopped. Like, what usually ours is the numbers, then the street name, then the city, and then the zip code. Does Germany have states? Why do I feel like Germany has states? Because I don't know, because they only put the zip code in the city, so I don't know.
And check out the doorbells, no numbers. Instead, they're labeled...
Or the doorbell's in the room with us. What are you talking? Where's the doorbell at?
It comes before the city. And check out the doorbells, no numbers. Instead, they're labelled with the surnames of the people living there, which strikes me as slightly unusual for this privacy-loving nation.
What? The doorbells are on the mailboxes? That ain't a doorbell, that's a mailbox bell. Yeah, that's a mail bell. That's a mail bell. Wait a minute. So it's kind of like some apartment buildings here. They have like buzzers at the door so that way whoever you're trying to get to can let you in. I'm guessing that's what it's kind of like. I've never seen doorbells like that though. And having your last name on it, like not the number, that does feel like a kind of like a security issue, you know? Like I wouldn't want my last name just out in the open like that.
Wait, for today's episode, we're at home with the Germans.
Here we go.
German homes come in all shapes and sizes. They also have pretty
Hold on, I'm sorry, I'm pausing so much, but wait a minute.
German homes come in all shapes and sizes.
What is that roof doing? Why are you growing your garden on top of your house, excuse me?
They also have pretty logical names. A house at the end of a row of houses is called an end of the row house, or
I mean...
Endhaus. A house where one family lives is called a one-family house, Einfamilienhaus. Large houses split up into several apartments are called Mehrfamilienhäuser or multi-family houses, and that's the most common type of home here.
I mean, keep it simple. Tell it how it is. Yeah. The houses here, they're more like, instead of one family, I have heard that term before, but a lot of times houses here, they go by like how many bedrooms and baths they have. So like you'll hear like, oh, it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, or a 1-bed, 1-bath, something like that, and that's kind of how you know the size of the house or how many people live in the house. But no, I like y'all's is, hey, it's a 1-family home or a multi-family home, yeah.
As I've told you before, Germans usually know the exact measurements of their home in square meters. The average German home is a little over 90 square meters for 2 people. 5 million...
90 square meters? What, hold on. I gotta do the math. Oh, okay, 968 square feet, because, you know, we're weird and we like feet over here for some reason. I was about to say, that is teeny tiny, but that's actually a decent-sized place. Especially for 2 people, yeah, that's not bad.
Germans live in a WG or Wohngemeinschaft. That's shared accommodation. And only 0.5% of households have 3 or more generations living under one roof. Cold rent means
Dang, only 0.5?
Only 0.5% of households have...
Wait, what did she say? Not? Huh?
That's shared accommodation. And only 0.5% of households have 3 or more generations living under one roof.
That is I mean, wait, that kind of makes sense. More than 3 generations. Yeah, usually you only have 2 generations living in one house. But I know a lot of people that like live with grandparents and stuff like that. Or they have kids young and they just still live with their parents or something. So yeah, but that still seems like a very low number to me.
One roof. Cold rent means without bills, and warm rent includes costs for certain utilities and services. Germany has long been a nation of renters. Less than half the population owns their own home, and in some larger cities that drops to a quarter. This is in part a hangover from recent history. During the war, a lot of private property was destroyed, so rental apartment blocks were built as a quick fix. In East Germany, people rarely had the option of purchasing their own property, and state-owned property was heavily subsidized. These days, some people...
See, that makes a lot of sense. After the war, rebuilding, instead of just rebuilding all these single homes, You just throw up a bunch of apartment buildings just to get people, you know, somewhere with a roof over their head. So dang, less than half of the population owns their home. That's crazy. I wonder, hang on, we're Googling again. So this is as of 2022, 65.8% of Americans own their homes. So it's like 15, 16% higher than Germany. That's a pretty big difference, dang.
Prefer the flexibility of renting. Germans do, after all, move an average of 6 times in their life. But most people cite spiraling house prices and hefty deposits as the main hurdle to owning their own home.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that only rent. Like, they don't want to buy a home just because of how much money. Like, yeah, you got to pay the deposits and all that to get into a rental. But, like, the AC goes out, you ain't got to worry about it. Or you need plumbing or electrical work, you ain't got to worry about it. So I do know a lot of people that prefer renting. And growing up, that's all we did. We never lived in a home my dad owned. We moved around, like, probably 8 or 9 times from the time I was, like, 5 to the time I was, like, 13. Pretty much every year, we were, like, in another house. I'll be honest, I don't really see a problem with that. Like, unless you're somebody that wants to settle down and own property and all that. If you just want to rent, dude, I don't see a problem with that.
Most people cite spiraling house prices and hefty deposits as the main hurdle to owning their own home.
True.
That being said, renting isn't always a particularly cheap alternative. In Munich, renters are shelling out around 17 euros per square metre. Berlin has introduced a controversial 5-year rent freeze to try and get its prices under control. And some people are getting creative, shunning traditional living models in favour of houseboats, camper vans, communal living projects, or tiny houses.
Ein Tiny House ist
That sounds fun. Hold on.
ein kleines Häuschen, meistens aus Holz gebaut, zwischen 10 und 20 Quadratmeter auf Rädern, auf einem Pkw-Anhänger.
Wait, that's kind of fire. Hold on, dude. I want one.
Zwischen 10 und 20
That's kind of fire, dude.
Quadratmeter auf Rädern, auf einem Pkw-Anhänger. Ist aber auch eine Bewegung. Ja, ist eine Bewegung, die vor ungefähr 15 Jahren in Kalifornien in den USA eingesetzt hat.
Und wie ist es dann nach Deutschland gekommen?
In Deutschland gab es ja schon immer durch diese Kleingärten eine Tiny House Affinität. Deutsche und auch Holländer, die ja sehr viel Camping machen und Caravaning, die haben eine...
I know a lot of people that's like taking minivans or like utility vans and stuff like that and converted it into a little home on wheels. And that's just all they do. They don't stay anywhere for more than 2 weeks. They just travel and they just live out of their van. And dude, I'll be honest, before we bought this house, we were literally one more meeting and signing a contract away from just buying a pretty like big camper and just traveling the US. Just not having a home. Me, Anna, and the dogs just getting in the truck, pulling a camper and just going wherever. We were very, very close. It's actually a really big thing over here now.
Hohe Sympathie für kleine Räume.
Welche Vorteile bietet ein Tiny House?
Wenn wir nicht mehr so viel Platz beanspruchen, können wir nicht mehr so viel kaufen. Wenn alle Menschen auf einmal in Holzgebäude leben würden, hätten wir nicht so eine CO2-Katastrophen. Und wenn wir nicht mehr in anonymen Hochhäusern leben wollen, sondern eher in kleineren Strukturen, dann ist das soziale Miteinander auch ein anderes.
Anyway, back to the status quo for now. Here are my personal picks for a few things that make a home very German. House shoes, bottled water, sparkling of course, weird little mini...
Is sparkling water just like the main thing people drink in Germany and all over Europe? That is so crazy. How is sparkling water more popular than just regular water? Like,
if the cakes aren't mini...
What?
Bottled water, sparkling of course, weird little mini forks for cake. If the cake...
Mini forks? What?
Aren't mini, then why are the forks? Solid roller blinds that block out every last scrap of light.
Oh? What? Those are the greatest blinds I've ever seen in my life. Oh my goodness. I do not need these. I will not get these. Because I will sleep all day, son. What?
One of
It got dark.
these retro-looking wooden measuring sticks.
Dude, I haven't seen one of those in years. My grandma used to have those. Oh my gosh, that just brought back so many memories.
One of these retro-looking wooden measuring...
I broke one of these one time, and I had to hide in a closet. My grandma was so mad. Oh gosh.
A cellar with caged-off storage spaces. A beloved balcony. That's the most sought-after...
Wait a minute, why is it caged off? Excuse me?
A cellar with caged-off storage spaces.
What's going on?
A beloved balcony. That's the most sought-after home feature. 2 duvets, very practical.
2?
And unwieldy, squashy, frankly ridiculous square pillows.
Oh no, I couldn't do all that. My neck, I have a crick in my neck right now. Oh no.
Newcomers often have a few surprises when they move into their first place in Germany. First of all, don't expect a house or flat to be furnished, even if you're renting. And the biggest shock of all might come when you enter the kitchen. Yep, it's totally normal to take your entire kitchen with you when you move.
They took everything. They didn't leave a sink, a cabinet, nothing. What? You don't have a kitchen? That is insane. Bro.
Counters, cooker, sink, everything.
What?
One good thing about moving here is that it's a team effort. It's absolutely the done thing to enlist the help of all your friends. The only payment required is beer, pizza, and the knowledge that you'll return the favour. Of course, it wouldn't be Germany without a good set of rules. The small print in a rental contract can include such gems as the exact level of noise you're allowed to make, how often you have to air your flat out, and the requirement to repaint every room a neutral colour upon your departure.
What? You have to repaint the entire apartment before you move? That's just the landlords being lazy right there. What?
If anything else about the German way of living, leave me a comment below. Thanks for dropping by.
Dude, that was actually mind-blowing. Excuse me. They take their whole kitchen, everything, bro. That's crazy. They couldn't leave you the sink, the countertop, nothing. Dude, that was awesome. Oh my goodness. But alright guys, that is going to do it for how Germans live. It's a little bit different. Yeah, it is a little bit different. Let me know some other things down in the comments. If y'all want to see more German reactions, let me know by hitting that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see y'all tomorrow.